Good morning. It's a beautiful day here in Sierra Vista. There's the blimp right over there. Anyway, let's see if we can get in there. Show you a bigger picture of it. So that's the blimp. Watching the border. And our beautiful blue skies. Oh, just a gorgeous day. And little Miss PR out for our morning walk. It's very breezy here today, so even though the sun is shining quite brightly, which I'm happy to see, we're just not so hot. And here I am. So, how is your morning going? How did you sleep? What's going on with you today? Let me know in the comments. Still practicing your ahimsa, I hope. That kindness, starting with yourself, kindness to you. And finally, I'm feeling recovered from Easter. From last weekend. I did get everything taken care of last night. I came home from the studio after I was finished teaching class and got everything taken care of. All the Easter decorations down, put away, back into storage, cleaned up the whole backyard and patio area, mopped the floors, all the serving platters are put away, everything's done. So no signs of Easter now. Mother's Day is coming up next. As far as, not that it's a holiday, but as far as the next meal, entertaining at the house goes, big entertaining. It's not to say that I won't have my sister and brother-in-law over for dinner or something in between. Come on, girl. So, just wanted to check in, see how things are going. Remind you that it's important to honor your body, like I did on Sunday and just said forget it. And really, Monday morning, afternoon, didn't try and push myself. I just did my doctor's office work and went ahead and kind of took care of my body, letting it rest. My mind was still working. I was doing everything for my doctor's office, but I let the body rest. And now I feel pretty good. We'll see how I feel tomorrow, because today my sister switched up our workout routines. So who knows? Just when I think, is it ever going to get easier? The answer is no, it's not. Because she's going to switch it up. So I think we're starting with a little more strength training. She was working on those last 3 months, more so connective tissue and making sure it's stronger or strong enough. And now getting into a little more strength training. Starting off light, obviously. I'm no muscle-bound person. And doing all kinds of interesting. Oh, hang on. Okay, right back. Okay, there was a landscaper out there, and it was just too noisy. Didn't want you to have to compete with that. I did also manage yesterday to get the Easter cooking video up. So it's a long video. It's almost 2 hours long. But it's up. So you can go through it at double speed or what have you. But give it a watch. See if you learn anything. Enjoy the chatting. And so I was talking about my sister and how she changed up the workout routine and it's starting to be a little more strength training. So she's also working at more like what you expect for strength training. So I think what she said was, today is Tuesday. Tuesdays will be upper body. Thursdays will be lower body. Saturday will be whole body. So that's going to be that. I had a very early morning appointment, so I'm not sure if I got everything in on the new routine or not. I guess I will find that out come Saturday. And see how I feel in the morning. She didn't give me huge weights to do. And she pays attention and she notices my form is slipping. She drops down my weight. So, I mean, it's not much. Okay. I'm talking 12 pounds maximum. But it's a challenge for me. So that's what it is. We're challenging our own bodies. And I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. Just trying to do the best I can. And that's all we can do, right? Is do the best you can. And you know, we all know when we're kind of half-assing it. We're really not giving it our all. In anything we're doing, not just working out, but anything in life. Right? And sometimes we're just tired. We're exhausted. Sometimes we're just plain old over it. So we don't give it our all. And that's, like I said, anything, not just working out. It could be at your job. It could be things you're doing around the house. So just kind of keep that in mind, right? And if it's worth doing right. And as I remind, especially young people, younger people, how we do this is how we'll do everything. So whatever it is you're doing, how you do it is how you do everything. So if you're only giving it half your time, half your attention, half your energy, then you're probably doing everything like that. If you give it your all, then you're probably doing everything like that. And everything we do is a reflection, I'm getting pulled back, is a reflection on us. It says who we are, regardless of what it is we're doing. Whether we're working out with our trainer, whether we're paying our trainer, or your trainer is your family member, or we're at work doing our work. It is a reflection of who we are. And it is how others will see us. And how they will react and treat us. So, if you're not getting treated the way that you want, and it's kind of across the board, maybe take a look at what you're putting out there. And if it's just maybe one person, like your boss is not treating you the way that you want to be treated, you don't feel like you're being treated for what your worth is, know your worth. And that's not always about money, just so we understand, okay? Are you being treated with respect at work, at home, personal relationships? Know your worth. And I'm going to say demand it, expect it. When that's the expectation, people will either deliver or they won't. And if they don't, then those aren't the people that you want. And when it comes to work, you know, I'm not telling anybody to go out and quit their job, right? But if you're not happy, start looking. And be honest. Be honest with your employer. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. whether it's more money, whether it's more recognition, whether it's to be treated with more respect. Say those words with kindness. Let that be known. Always give them the opportunity to improve. Okay, because maybe they don't realize that they're coming off that way. I mean, you and I may think, oh, certainly they must know. This is not the way to treat people. And not just your boss, but you could have other people in your life. Different levels of friendships. So, and you're not getting the results you want from that. Not being treated the way you want from that. Give them the opportunity to make it right. Let them know what your expectations are.
Coyote right up there.
Oh, okay.
2 houses down.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll cross over and
It's 1 and 3, so I'll let you know.
thank you so much. I appreciate that. Have a great day. Okay. Not what I want to hear or see. Let's see if we can get you in on that. Hold on. So, I'm going to zoom in here. See if we can see it. Is he still there? You're not seeing it. We're going to keep our eyes peeled. I'm going to keep you facing that way. And we're going to see. So if you didn't hear what that gentleman was telling me, there's a coyote up here. I thought it was just a dog. But he said, no, it is a coyote and it's loose. So, oh, yep, he's sitting there. Let's see. We're going to hope that he stays there and everybody lives and let lives. Okay. Can we see it? Hold on. Okay, so there he is. That is what the gentleman is telling me is a coyote. I'm going to keep a good eye on it as I walk. Okay. And we're going to live and let live. We're going to hope for the absolute best. He's hot. Probably doesn't have anywhere else to go. Is that a coyote? Is that a German Shepherd? Let's go ahead. We take one more. Can you see? There he is. All right. So he's not making any moves. I'm going to keep our eyes peeled. I'm going to flip you back around because then I'll have the camera to see what's coming behind me. So a little bit of excitement. We are rural. I will be turning around just to make sure. Come on, girl. But he looks like he's hot and he just wants to rest. So we're going to hope that's right where he stays. Let's see. So, and that is something they do around here, which is very much appreciated. Like if you're out for a walk, even on the trail, other people may see a javelina or see a coyote, and if you're walking in the opposite direction, they're going to let you know what they saw. So that's good. That's nice. I think we were talking about knowing your worth and giving people the opportunity to make changes. And you never know. Maybe a bunch of people have told that person that, hey, I don't want to be treated like this. That's not the right way to treat people. Maybe a lot of people have told that person that. But then it coming from you, maybe that's all the last time you needed to hear, or she needed to hear, before they make a change. So, always give them the opportunity to make that change. Because we're all tragically human. And we're all trying, for most of us, majority of us are trying to do the best we can. And we think we're doing the right thing, but it's not always the right thing. And where those ideas come from is generally our own experiences. We've either been told this by somebody multiple times that we respect. No coyote behind us. And and times change and people change. I mean, look, I'm of an age where working, we didn't get a bunch of pats on the back. This is your job, do your job, do it right. You get your paycheck. That's the way it goes. Okay? You know you're doing a good job if you still have your job. People are not always going to be out there giving you pats on the back and telling you, oh, good job, you're doing such a great work. Da-da-da. No, they're going to tell you when you're screwing up, and that's going to be the only thing you hear from them. I am from that era and generation. But that's not today's generation. They need a lot of pats on the back. They need a lot of reassurance that they're doing the right thing. Where it comes from, I don't know. But as an employer, those are adjustments that I need to recognize and make to some level. I'm not, every time somebody does their job, going to give them a pat on the back for doing their job. But I will make sure once a week or so to say, hey, good job, you guys are doing great. So, and if I notice that they're having an exceptionally hard day, but they're still powering through, I'm going to acknowledge that too. So we adjust. And it was funny because I did go to this one seminar, and they were talking about, was it millennials? They're going, oh, millennials, always on their phone at work. And then the guy kind of backs it up. Now, he said that to get everybody's attention, right? And then, come on, little girl. And then he said, but let's just now back this up and let's think about this. The older generation was taking a smoke break for 15 minutes or 5 minutes every half hour. They were leaving the office and going outside and smoking. This generation doesn't do that. They're on their phones. Whatever they're doing on their phones. Might be watching a video, right? Are they still getting their work done? Those smokers are still getting their work done. At least these people aren't coming back from watching a YouTube video smelling horrible, right? So a matter of perspective and having somebody point that out to you. And when they said that, not that I ever worked in an environment where there was smoking, but when I said that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I guess every generation has its thing. I was brought up a little differently, right? And I was brought up that when you're at work, you're on somebody else's time, and you're doing what you're told to do. Let me just look back, make sure. Okay, come on, girl. And that's, you're on their clock, you're theirs, basically. That is how I was brought up. And that is how I work. That is my work ethic. But not everybody's brought up like that. When it changed, why it changed, I don't know. And to everybody's credit and or discredit, employers used to be very loyal to their employees. So employees were much more willing to be that kind of loyal. Excited to go into work and do their job. They had a retirement plan. They had benefits. They had incentive programs. And our business culture has also changed And we don't have that anymore. There's no gold watch at 20 years anymore, right? There's no guarantee of insurance anymore. Companies used to pay 100% of the insurance. Insurance premiums have shot up so much, companies can't afford to do that. I see both sides of it. I don't own a company, but I'm high enough in management that I see these things, so I get it. My perspective is on both sides of that fence. And an employer cannot afford to pay you a living wage and cover your insurance fully. Sometimes not even partially. Premiums are pretty high. And when you look at what your package is, right, when you get a job, if you feel like you're making a pretty good hourly rate, but you're not getting the benefits, there it is. It's got to be one thing or the other. And people got to pay their rent or their mortgage, and they got to buy groceries. And I get it. And we want to have that insurance. We want that feeling of knowing that we're covered in case something goes wrong. But employers can't afford to do that anymore. So kind of is what it is. It's the way it is now. And corporately, you're going to find small business owners that are going to be that kind of old-fashioned. Probably not going to be able to give you your benefits, but they're going to be loyal to you. And then you're loyal to them in return. And, you know, benefits look like many things. It's not just insurance. It's not just a 401k. It's not the gold watch. But there is a sense of knowing that it's okay if your kid is sick or you're not feeling well, or your parents have fallen ill, or your dog needs to go to the emergency vet, that you can pick up the phone and say, hey, this is what's going on. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it in. And it's not going to be held against you. If it becomes chronic, totally different story, okay? But that is a serious benefit. Because anymore, corporately, they want that loyalty. They may pay you a high price, but you are their slave, both during and outside of work hours. So you got to decide what you want, I guess, you know? And age has a lot to do with those kind of decisions, where you're at in life. So, you know, everything has to be weighed out. Life is a series of give and take. And business owners ultimately have a business to run. You're being hired to be there for a certain time. And that's not an unreasonable expectation. And as long as you know it going into the job and you agree to it, then that's your expectation. You're going to be there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Or whatever the hours are. You know if you're going to be on call. Oh, look at this baby up here. Oh, he just went down. There he is. Look at him. Letting you know this is his home. This is his territory. Barely getting his nose over the wall. Oh, dear Mr. Man. Oh, thanks for the big protect. Your owners appreciate it. You have a good day. Oh, super cute. Doing his job. All right. So anyway, well, that whole conversation just evolved. And we're done with our walk. And we didn't have to worry about the coyote getting us. So all is good there. If you have any questions about anything we talked about, put it in the comments. Any comments, doesn't even have to be a question. You could have an opinion that varies and differs. That's okay. Well, let's go ahead and get a conversation going. I will see you soon. Have a great day.